Good evening and welcome to Roll With It and this part two to session zero. So, doing good. It's been like a month or longer since our last part one, two.
Maybe
Awesome.
two.
It's their
All right.
videos. People wouldn't know
Uh,
that. They might think it's only 2 weeks apart, but you ruined it now.
It's a peek behind the curtain, man. We want to be real.
I'm sorry.
Don't be
Uh,
sorry. Never be sorry.
we've done the harder part to character creation. Today we're going to cover roles, equipment, basic RP, and then we'll take the gentle strolls into the harsh darkness that awaits our characters. All right, let's get into it. All right, so you've just finished up your interview of sorts with the seneschal to this prince. Uh, he looks around. It's says you've got another neonate ready to be introduced. You'll be joining him in just a moment, but before we go further, before you all of you are presented before the prince, I need you to relinquish weapon. If you have any on. So, do you have any on you?
Yes.
Okay. What you got?
Uh huh.
Uh-huh.
Uh. Uh. A weapon.
Good. Yes, good.
The pointy kind.
All right, well, sword, dagger, bow, crossbow, spear, knife,
Well,
club, mace.
what are the limitations?
Not a lot. Uh it'll be a rough equivalent because a lot of the weapons are fairly similar stat wise. So if you
Uh,
want like a great sword, I have that. But if you've got a long sword, I've got something so close.
no, I mean, I was thinking like a dagger or two and then like a bow or something. I mean,
Okay, yeah.
what if I've got
Uh
like a dagger in every sleeve and every boot and then that was more my question of limitations.
well, if you wish, we can jump into a roll and you can try to hide them if you want.
Nah, all
It'll be real simple.
right, fine. You kind of look like you want someone to make a roll.
I mean, it's the game. So on the dice page of the character sheet, you'll be rolling a dex roll under the ability. You will want either stealth, or if you're going to try to verbally hide them, try to distract via talk, subterfuge.
So, kind of an odd way to do it, I guess. What if I was hiding and my cousin was distracting? Because we do work as a pair.
Then for you, it'd be dex stealth, and for
Okay.
her, it would be a manipulation subterfuge.
Is that set up or do I need to make that?
I've got her set up. I just
No, no,
gotta.
no, no, no. The deck stealth thing.
Okay. Not specifically. You do have dex rolls. So you can click on the ability next to dexterity roll, and there's a drop down menu.
Ooh.
Like if I
And
hit
it-
roll?
No, the third column
under ability.
is where it says none. If you just click on the none.
Oh, it doesn't look like it's a thing. That's why I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't.
It's
think
just
that,
the
I didn't
word
think that
none.
either.
I just thought, okay. So stealth. There it is. Okay. Now I hit roll.
Yes. Difficulty will remain 6.
Ooh, -1
Mm.
successes.
Mm.
Ouch.
Why does it
Oh,
do?
That seems good.
it only says 2 successes, but he rolled. How many does a 1 take away? 2?
1 takes a 1 success, and a 10 counts as 2.
So shouldn't he have 3 there? So he has a 10, a 9, a 7, and a 1.
Yes. Yes, you should.
Okay.
That's broken.
I just
It
was I noticed that on some of the other rolls that it doesn't look like he's counting the 10s properly. I don't know.
That's possible.
Yay! Automation.
Well, I'm glad it got noticed now after 300 plus hours of effort and work and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's honestly, come on. As a game master, it's probably like you're just more worried about getting everything in.
All right. She's not as helpful as she usually is. This process of being presented to the person who can 100% decide her fate has her less bossy as she usually is, and definitely stuttering and stumbling over her words as she tries to keep the seneschal's attention. But even without that particular help, you manage to hide what you are attempting to hide.
So what I hand one dagger over, but I have another
Okay.
in my boot, so I kept the one in the boot, like, you know.
All right.
And I'll hand over the bow if I can have all 3.
Sure.
Okay.
Click on Combat tab.
Oh, doing a thing. Combat.
And on Melee, we're going to add a weapon.
Dagger.
All right. So yeah, put in dagger under type.
I'm gonna have
It
2
is-
daggers. So should I
Yeah,
go
follow
ahead and do
suit.
this also? Okay.
Type is lethal. So like an L, you can put an L in there.
Too late, I typed it.
That's fine. Minimum strength required is a 1. Damage is 2. Nope,
Okay.
that's 1 blood. Damage is 0, and its conceal is P, which stands for pocket.
Okay.
Should I add it twice for having 2?
You can just put 2 right before it.
Okay.
2 daggers. One moment. Sorry, Pippin being needy. And under ranged weapons, we're going same dealy. Let's see if I find it. Crossbow, short bow, longbow, or heavy crossbow.
Longbow?
Okay. On it, don't have a type. It's just weird for this. Damage is 4.
Okay.
Minimum strength is 3.
Okay.
Range is 120. So we're going to do a lot more theater than mine. Not so many like map combats, so it
Mhm.
won't be as important. Its conceal is N, as in it cannot be concealed.
Got it.
Rate is 1. Clip is 1. And I guess under name, you'll need to make a notation of armor piercing 2.
So just like long, I'll just write longbow and then armor piercing too. I guess.
Yeah, this is converted from a modern sheet, so some of it doesn't 1-to-1.
It's all good.
Right. Doug, Patrick, are you guys laying down any
I'd probably have a
gear?
short sword would be my
Short sword?
guess. Yeah.
Carries a scalpel around.
What?
Carries a scalpel around.
That's right.
That's knife.
No, this is a knife.
All right, so on it, its type is lethal.
Okay.
Don't know why. Strength minimum is 1.
Okay.
Damage is 1.
Okay.
Its conceal is C, as in coat.
Okay.
And it has a notation of armor piercing 2.
Armor piercing 2. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Anything else?
That's it for me.
That's all. Okay. Doug.
Asmodeus pulls 2 daggers out of his boots, each one out of each, and lays them down, and then nods to Paul, who's the retainer,
Paul.
Paul Russo.
Okay.
And Paul lays down a short sword.
A short sword. Okay. Jamie. Uno momento.
Figured I'd let you know, so that way you could.
I just need to put that in my notes.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good. Anything else that Paul McRetainer puts down?
No.
Cool. Zach,
Yes.
before you were led into the room to await these other neonates coming, did you lay down any arms?
Yes. Short bow.
Sorry. Gotta get my example out so I can follow it proper. All right. Its type is minimum strength is 2. Damage is 2. Range is 60. Rate and clip both 1. And concealment is L.
And what is L for?
Long coat. Yeah, it's L, N, P, and C. So long coat, not pocket, and then coat. Anything else?
And then a couple of hand axes.
And all right. Minimum strength is 0 on those. Type is lethal. Damage is 2. Conceal is L.
And is there rules for those as a ranged throwing weapon?
Yeah, it's the same.
Okay.
But it has a range of 20.
And the minimum strength and damage on daggers was 0 on both, correct?
Yep.
Okay. It's just a dagger, 2 hand axes, and a short bow.
Okay.
Quiver.
Can I add one more thing?
Sure.
He's gonna pull out from behind his back a
Shotgun.
I don't know really. No, it's like a I can't think of the word for it. It's a like a Tommy knocker.
Okay.
Like a shillelagh?
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
A blackjack?
Yes, that's it. That's what I was thinking. Blackjack.
We'll work it as a club. All right. So it is a blunt weapon. Minimum strength, it says, is 2. Damage is 2. And its conceal is a C.
I guess that would change the lethality to bashing. Is that correct?
Yes, it deals bashing damage. Yep.
Okay. And you said C?
C for conceal.
Okay.
It's not arms, but there is a spot for armor. So does anyone wear any during their day-to-day, or is there any that they would own, just aren't currently equipped with?
Just like traveling leathers, but I don't know if that would consider armor.
Yeah. And heavy clothing or textile.
I mean, would this be something that we would have potentially picked up or been instructed with during the time with our sire, basically? Or is this just something that we would have from our day-to-day life?
Either or. If it's something that you've maintained since your life, that's not a problem. Or if your sire would suggest protection, minimum armor would be probably given.
I don't know if mine would necessarily.
From what I know of the lizard, I don't think so.
I didn't think so either. So I was just gonna go with no. So
What are the ratings on that heavy
The
clothing?
heavy clothing, its rating is 1.
Okay.
Would a leather trench be leather trench coat?
That would fall under heavy clothing.
You said rating 1?
Rating 1.
What's the class?
Heavy clothing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's only 5 classes, and it's class 1 / heavy clothing, class 2 / textiles, class 3 is composite, class 4 is heavy, and class 5 is knight. So that's like plate mail and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Composite armor is your Gambinson and like a breastplate.
Yep. I don't think I'd be wearing anything special, just like regular clothing and probably a cloak.
Okay,
Just
then.
to kind of keep it light because, not going to wear heavy stuff.
Zach?
I just have my traveling leathers
Gotcha.
and like a cloak, just a regular cloak.
All right. For those of you with armor, click back onto your dice pools. And in the combat dice pool, I have a soak roll set up for you. And the modifiers, add 1.
Cool.
Kevin,
Yes.
would Tiffany be wearing anything beyond basic clothing?
I doubt it. But I was going to say she might have like a dagger, probably. Just something for like a little bit of protection,
Gotcha. It's no W in Dagger Mike.
It's
Dwaga?
silent. it's a dago.
I mean, it's
Fat fingers.
I was gonna say, if you're talking like Princess Bride, Mawag,
Marriage. The
Dwaga.
circle.
All right. Do you guys feel good with what you have? Armor wise, weapon wise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any additional gears we can cover later. It's not a need to do now type of thing.
Paul just has standard clothing, so you don't have to worry about him either.
Oh, I better go type that in my notes. Paul has standard clothing.
Paul's a meat shield.
Yep.
Alrighty. The seneschal says, "Right this way. Brace yourselves. When you came into my master's court, you may have felt something odd pulling you to the north. It's ever so slightly stronger where he likes to hold his gatherings. And he leads you into another room in which you see a fairly large northern looking gentleman waiting patiently. We didn't do it last time, and we'll have to do it again with Ethan's here, but why don't you describe yourselves to each other?
Dragomir is kind of Eastern European looking. He's about 5'7", 140-ish, 150-ish pounds is what he looks. Fairly average build, but I mean, looks like keeps himself in well enough shape. Appears to be in his late 20s, would be an estimation. Black hair, has blue eyes that glow. Kind of an eerie presence to him. But yeah, kind of reserved, stays back a little bit, but yeah, That's Dragomir.
Asmodeus is 6'4", thin. Like when I'm talking thin, I'm talking 150 pounds. But you can't tell really because he's got this long black trench on, but it's got a hood. And so his face is hid in shadow a little, but you can see that he's ugly as sin. Spindly hands. He has a companion with him, but when you kind of peek through the hood, you can kind of see that he has a thick scar across his neck. Asmodeus does, not the companion. And you've noticed that the companion talks for him.
It's a good thing you brought that up. I was starting to put that down.
You sure you don't carry a sickle?
Thought about it. Thought about it.
Pitchfork, like the guy from the picture.
His companion that laid down the short sword. Just a normal looking guy. Got a bit of a beard. Probably close to middle age. Not quite as tall. Not as tall as Asmodeus.
Unremarkable.
Brown hair.
So what you're saying is he looks like a man.
Yes.
He look like a man.
But he's fairly stocky. He's worked. You can see he's worked in good shape. Not super good, but he's got a dad bod.
Write
He will
that
be
down.
I am.
Okay. Oliver just looks like a normal dude. He seems to be fairly young. You know, early 20s, late teens. I mean, he's not scrawny. He worked in a bakery, so he's kind of, carrying heavy sacks of flour around all the time.
Is he about Dragomir's height, or?
You know what? He's probably like 5'11". I definitely thought about this beforehand. You can't see all of his face. He has his cloak pulled down and covering some. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing special looking about him.
The guy that was in the room when you come in, he's quite tall. He's almost Asmodeus' height, or Asmodeus' height, but like twice his width. He's probably about stocky 240. But he has albino pale skin and the red albino eyes, but bright red hair. That's a little past shoulder length, but a clean shaven face.
Awesome. All right.
And you said he looks like a northern kind of Scandinavian.
Yes, he has a very Scandinavian look to him.
Okay.
But paler.
Sure. because it's a albino skin. Okay, cool.
I'll head out there. I will introduce you one by one. You two, you came together. I'll introduce you together. Yes.
Question for you. As a general rule of court decorum, is there a particular formal greeting or bow that we should do as we enter, or as you're introduced?
Sounds like a roll.
Normally, I would say yes. There is a certain level of decorum most princes have, but our Prince Anthony here is unique. You might say you would find him kindred. He's not one for most formalities. But if you're wishing to maintain a certain level of decorum, the guests will have their own opinions on what needs to be done. I suggest a courtly bow and silence until spoken to.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Keep in mind, all of you, that until you are granted personhood, that you are let loose from your sires officially by the prince, your lives are on the line. You have the chance to exit into the world and grow in power for yourself, or your eternal life ends now. Yes?
Did you mean those two or us two together?
Both.
Okay.
Both Asmodeus and Paul, as well as Tiffany and Oliver. No overt use of powers. It's rude. You'll be offered food. Your choice whether you feed or not. There is no judgment held there. All right. Now, wait one moment. He steps through a curtain blocking over a heavy wooden door frame, and you can hear the sounds of crickets and animals braying just beyond that curtain, as if all sound is cut off at the door frame, allowing peace on one side and all of life's happenings on the other. And at first you don't hear anything. Nothing. And then a name comes through in your mind. Oliver Baker. Tiffany Baker.
What was her last name again? I can't. It's
It's not Baker.
That's totally what I have typed down.
You shouldn't.
I thought hers was different.
It is.
All right, let's fix it.
Baxter.
Baxter.
That's
Same
female
thing.
Baker.
Okay, is fixed. I want to change it back to the way I want it though later.
It's fine. She just won't walk in next time. uh, I think that's us.
What's you?
Oh, it's our turn to go.
Did we all hear that or just him?
Just them.
Okay.
Slow. As we're walking in, I just kind of look over at her and I'm like, "This is usually your thing."
I'm feeling off. You know, it's yeah, let's go. You first. And she kind of just pushes you as you head through the door.
like stumble in, like kind of like in the movies or the cartoons where the guy just kind of comes like falling in, but like stumbles and stops and is like walk
You
up.
find yourself in a large open courtyard, and often to the north there are the dim lights of a city, and there's torches lit along the edges of this courtyard, and there's maybe 15, 16 people total. At the far end from the doorway, there's a fairly thin, wild-haired man lounging in a ramshackle piecemeal throw.
Just well, I'll walk towards him and then just like bow at everyone that I see. I'm like
Okay. Time to make a first impression.
oh boy.
Ugh.
So that would be an etiquette appearance roll.
Uh-huh.
It'll be in your socials. So the eighth one down, since there's a divider for each stat. What the? All right, I'm having internet issues. Sorry. Anyway, you'll find it under the
Appearance.
social section.
Well,
Appearance, and then
I had to find social first on the rolls. And then etiquette?
correct.
Appearance etiquette, you said?
Appearance etiquette. Yep. Difficulty is a flat 6. You're going to need to tell me what you got. I can't.
I rolled 2 dice. I got 2 successes.
There are a few chuckles. One or two of the gentlemen bow back. You get most of the ladies just kind of stare at you. There is a dark-haired woman with a blonde gentleman that watches you very carefully, and a very short, seemingly ancient-looking older woman steps out right in front of you and Tiffany, and puts her hand upon your chest and says, "Stop."
I stop.
Down here.
look at her.
She grabs you by the face, pulls you in very close. I can't get any of this stuff to open. And then looks right into your eye. Says, good to know. And then slaps you on the face. And slaps you on the ass. And says, move.
I move.
Seriously.
It just got manhandled. Or woman
did.
handled.
Old woman handled.
Yeah.
She repeats a
Or
similar process. Less ass slappy on Tiffany.
What the? I'm just a piece of meat to her.
You are. Right. A few moments pass, and now that you're in the courtyard, you hear very, very plainly from the Seneschal's mouth, presenting of Clan Malkov, Dagomir Prodan, in which you hear your name in your head.
It was unsettling. Okay. Well, see you inside. He will stroll through the curtain, and would I know, like, would heightened senses be an overt use of power in this instance?
No. Anything that can't be hidden, like using, say, if you had potence, you can't really hide that. Like the super strength is kind of always on. So being aggressive would be using it. Anything that causes you to require a roll mostly could be considered overt.
Okay. Like
but
read the
your
soul, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
but
heightened
your
senses can use. If I want.
yeah, that would be fine. No one would notice.
Okay. I just want to use it for hearing purposes. Just to kind of get an idea of what's going on in the room. Would I be able to use like either perception or wits to kind of get a quick lay of the room and see, as I'm passing in, who the more important players would be that are in the room?
Sure. For your initial glance over the room, to sizing everyone up, and awareness, wits will work.
Just a wits roll, or is there awareness
Plus,
on top of that?
plus awareness, wits, and awareness.
Straight 6.
Yes.
That's actually 5 successes because I got a 10 in there. So
Nice. All right. I'll have to use the offline notes I have. There are a few people that a quick glance catches your eye, that they hold a more important air about them than a lot of the others. There's a average sized but very muscular blonde male with a strong jaw, and a dark-haired woman with him. They both seem to stand out. The ancient, tiny old lady calls to you as someone of import. And there is a balding, fat man that definitely has like an air of destiny that you pick up purely off of his leaf that is sitting upon his shoulder.
a leaf that is sitting upon his shoulder. Okay.
You notice that, and it says to you, He's important.
Okay.
As for listening to what's going on around you, it's a perception and alertness roll.
That's one success.
Well, a lot of their conversation is on you, and waiting the others that are going to present themselves when
Okay.
announced. But there is a small, more hushed conversation about being a little too close to a piece of the cross, but not suggesting where that is exactly.
Okay. So I'll take a moment when I come in and do the traditional bow, and then the people that I feel like are more important, I'll just kind of glance in their direction and avert my eyes down a little further, just being more respectful. So
You get a response, a head nod from the blonde gentleman, but the man in his leaf don't even look at you.
nice. I like it. That's good. That's good.
Might be more awkward if the leaf actually looked at you.
Right?
Maybe the leaf will talk to me. I don't know.
Nobody goes that way.
Do you need me to make a first impression roll as well, or
Yes, sir. Sorry, I'm
that was appearance and
uh
etiquette?
etiquette.
Okay. Oh, okay. One success on that.
You don't offend anybody.
That's good. That's a
Uh,
good start.
They're not as pleased, not driven to nearly as much humor as the man before you.
Yeah, I'm always getting showed up. Knew I should have had an opening joke when I came in. That would have been good. But all right, all right. I will move forward towards where Oliver and Tiffany are.
Now that you are there to join them, you hear presenting Asmodeus and companion of Clan Nosferatu. And as they did before, you hear your name in your head.
I will walk straight forward, heading directly towards the throne.
Okay. Well, you get the joy of making a Nosferatu's first impression roll. So etiquette. Leave. You also have a negative to that.
I do. Hold on one second, and I'll tell you what it is. Immediately fail first impression rolls.
Awesome. Okay.
So I don't need to roll.
I'm just continuing to listen to see what they're saying as people are walking in.
Lots of disgusted gasps and growls, with the exception of one. There is a silence from well, behind you, since you've approached to where Oliver is at.
I would stop like a respectable distance from the throne to where I don't know if that's where they are or not,
But everyone is very audibly disgusted without even seeing any of his potential deformities.
Mm-hmm.
It's bugging the shit out of me. Alrighty, as soon as the Nosferatu exits through the doorway, the curtain, you hear your name in your head, Casper Gunnarsson. From your end, presenting Caspar Gunnarsson of Clan Gangrel.
Up, I'm gonna head through the door. As soon as I come in, kind of take the lay of the land, then just do a little head nod, straight back, just walk up to where the rest of the people I just met are. Just walk straight up to them, and then do a little bit lower of a bow towards the throne when I get there. Unless someone stops me whilst I'm walking.
No, no one stops you.
Okay.
Lucky.
Quick question here for you. So
Sure,
with
shoot.
the heightened senses, it says if I'm using like one of the senses that it lowers the difficulty by my aspect dots.
Mm-hmm.
So difficulty of 6 if I'm just listening. That reduced it to a 3 since I have 3 points in that.
Yes.
So I would have had actually 5 successes on that instead of 1.
Nice.
So I don't, like I said, I don't know if that changes anything. Just keeping it up, basically. Just listening.
No, it wouldn't change
Okay.
any of the general conversation.
Okay.
You would, as others enter, you would get a better impression of what they think of the people joining you.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a small bit of I wonder if he's as special as the others. He's so big. There's a very big man.
I go ahead and roll my etiquette roll.
Yes, please.
Looks like 4 successes. I got 2 10s.
Nice.
Dang. So they do think he's special then.
Yeah. They're all very, very pleased by his show of decorum and reverence to what they refer to as a clown prince. And lastly, the 4 of you hear the name Orphan Soldan of Clan La Sombra. And I have no idea what he looks like. But you're joined by Orphan, the gentleman who was with you when your interview started. He looks around, sees 1 or 2 people that he focuses on for a little bit, and then without nodding, without making any type of gesture, he walks up and gives a bit of a bow towards the prince and stands and waits. The prince leans back in his throne, sits forward, adjusts himself left or right to how he's leaning on his arms, and says, "Okay. What were your names again?"
Casper.
Yep.
Oliver.
Dragonmore will kind of look over towards Asmodeus, see if he wants to speak first.
All says, "This is Asmodeus."
Dragomir, Your Grace?
That's not necessary. Anywhere else. Yeah, anywhere else that'd be necessary. I don't like it. Your Honor. I like that.
Duly noted.
The cat is climbing on my bookshelves. Give me a moment. Sorry, he likes to break my models. He must stay away from them. Yes. Call me Your Honor.
As you
So-
wish, Your Honor.
Good job. So what's his face probably asked a whole lot of questions. He thinks I'm going to remember the answers when he finally tells me later. I might. Tomorrow. Or yesterday. All that really matters is you're here to join everyone else, to have fun and become a man. Hair in awkward places and all that.
Glances at Tiffany.
We all change. She might. Anyway, mingle. Refreshments will be brought out soon. So, help yourselves. I might have a favor before we call it morning. Before we call it morning. Yep. So yeah. Go on. Have fun. I'll be here. Looking regal.
Guess I'll just step back and kind of take a lay of the land, see if I see my sire.
You do not. In fact, only one of you would notice your sire even being there, and that would be the lizard.
Ah.
Al Hakim.
Okay.
Hey.
Does he appear to be glancing in my direction at all? Or mingling with other people?
No, he's trying to keep away from like all the others. He's on edge being around everyone.
I'm not necessarily going to disturb him or draw any attention to him in that regards. So
what would you like to do? There are a mix of men and women. There's 14 people. They seem to be from all over, all walks of both Middle Eastern and European descents.
the balding fat man, has he just been kind of not really paying much attention to anyone or anything during this time frame? Not really acknowledging?
He's talking to a few people,
Okay.
but not really interacting with a whole lot of others.
Okay. I'll look up towards Casper. You apparently made quite the impression when you came in.
I have that effect sometimes.
Well, there was some people that were quite interested in you, so he'll kind of Dragomir will point to a couple of the people that he noticed that were a little bit more significant, such as the blonde man and the dark-haired lady with him. Say, if you wish to make any more good impressions, they look kind of important.
Is that the guy with the leaf?
No.
Oh, that was a different guy. Okay.
Yeah, he's a balding fat man. He'll point out to the balding fat man, and be like, that guy seems really, he's special. So I don't know if he'll really interact with us at all. I don't think we're really on his radar.
I think I'm
Or
gonna
on
try
his
and
sphere of influence.
not make too many impressions. More impressions you make, more likely you are to make a bad one. I'll just kind of stay by myself until something happens. I'm not sure I like it in here. Something feels off.
It is not quite what I was expecting either. Well, guess I'll go attempt to mingle or at least speak with the blonde man who acknowledged me at least.
Okay.
Oops. Greetings.
Hello.
Uh,
You're Dagomir, I believe.
yes, Dragomir. Yes.
Dragomir. I'll remember that.
You honor me. Thank you.
I'm
This is
Jürgen Hardstadt. My companion is Lucretia Hartst.
very nice to meet you. This is different than what I was expecting. Feel like I'm a little bit out of my depths here at this gathering.
I'll be honest, you probably are. There's a certain level of perceived opulence that comes with the title of prince. So we think it's going to be a palace. There's going to be courtiers. There'll be people everywhere. But we're few in number. We can't quite equal the level of Europe's nobility. But where we gather in places of importance. And you are right. We are all out of our place. And he turns and points to the city, off into the distance. That is Antioch. None of us can approach. There's a piece of a cross in that city. And this courtyard, this former caravan stop, is on its edge. Mere 10 feet closer to that city. And any one of us would burst into flames. That is the unease. That is our power. We've taken it for ourselves by planting ourselves here for tonight.
as an act of defiance, or I guess I'm confused as to the purpose.
Defiance is a way to look at it. It is a spit in God's eye.
I understand. I can, given our nature and the means of our living or unliving, as it were, it seems to fit.
So, what do you do?
Well, I'm a doctor still. I attempt to help the less fortunate as much as I can. Over the past few decades, that's been more difficult. Requires a greater level of restraint and control. But I've tried to stay true to what I believe my calling is.
Noble. We all need farmers.
Indeed, I feel that those that are not necessarily looked after still have importance. I mean, especially to, I guess, our kind, the more healthy people around, the better that we are, correct?
You are indeed correct.
Yes.
A word of advice.
Yes, sir.
Don't tell anyone else.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Every bit of information you give of yourself is power you put in someone else's hand.
Thank you for granting some wisdom to me. This
Well,
is, as I stated, above my status.
we all have, well, most of us have a small connection to your sire. It feels only proper to warn you.
Yes, he is well connected, as I've heard.
During your conversation, his lady friend seems to be less paying attention to your conversation, but more watching everyone else as they watch you.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sure you have others you wish to speak with this evening. I do not wish to monopolize too much of your time.
Much appreciated.
Lord, my lady, enjoy your evening.
You as well.
He will withdraw.
Anything anyone wants to do? Someone to talk to?
Talking's not Oliver's thing. He would just kind of sit back and just watch people.
Okay. That's fair.
Casper's just trying not to get himself killed.
The opposite of being a cat, make yourself look as small as possible.
Just, it's as if all of the people here are T-Rexes. I'm just standing still.
Gotcha.
Yeah, if he doesn't move, they can't see him.
Right.
Okay.
It was in the movies. It
Asmodeus
must be
will
true.
pull Paul over to one of the walls or one of the sides of the room and just watch.
That's what I'm doing. Copycat. I'm just
Away from everybody else.
Okay. You find your wall crowded. There are a few others there attempting to hide along it. There's just the one entering into the building to which this courtyard is attached. It's mud brick falling apart from the outside, but the inside you saw was well taken care of. And even though you're trying to maintain I'm not here, I'm going to watch, eyes are upon you.
I'll just keep my head a little bowed. And just sort of face Paul, but be looking out the side. Trying to notice who's watching the most intently.
Okay, give me a perception alertness roll. Difficulty 7. Since I can't roll in against at the moment, I will up your difficulty.
jeez, just roll the dice.
That is 2 successes.
2 successes. There are one or two watching each of you. You notice their look starting between all of your temporary companions. There's an older, ancient woman, seems to be eyeing each of you, occasionally coming back to Oliver, and then looks over at Casper. She doesn't seem to focus on you a lot, but she does look at you on occasion. There is a short, wart-covered, like a starfish sprouting legs, warts like all over him. Bearded man who's eyeing you up and down specifically. And there's a very skinny, long blonde-haired man in just the nastiest looking leather clothes you've ever seen, being held back by a fairly attractive Iberian, maybe, definitely Mediterranean woman. He keeps pointing and reaching. You can see he's saying something, but she's definitely like pushing him away from approaching any of you.
Probably a bad idea. But I'm going to go up to the ancient woman.
Okay.
Once I see her darting between us.
As soon as you start to approach, her eyes focus in on you.
And I will stop just a few feet short and bow my head. And look to Paul. Relay the message, to which he says, "Greetings, lady. I speak for Asmodeus."
Of course you do. Do you know who I am? Intelligence. God, I wish I could pull up a character sheet so I can. Politics or enigmas.
One's gonna be the same. It looks like.
That happens.
That is 4 successes.
Or successes. You do. You recognize her. She's a prophetess of sorts by the name of Durga Sin. She is definitely the oldest vampire at this meeting. She has legends that surround her that suggest that she has seen and spoken to Cain himself.
Question before we go too much further.
Sure.
When we do have the specialty, like in that stat, like I have keen memory in intelligence.
Okay.
That does that add?
It'll add a +1 in the modifier section.
Okay.
If you might want to create a button for that type of roll on its own,
Okay.
so that you're not having to adjust over and over the roll associated with something that you're probably going to roll a lot.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Ah.
Just wanted to ask while we had a situation that.
When you hit the add button and you fill it out,
Mhm.
when you do it, down at the bottom right, there should be like says modify.
Mhm.
I think when you click on it, you'll be able to move it to where you want in the list.
Oh, okay.
Jed, this person that you're standing before is historically immensely important, but no one seems to give her that respect. Everyone knows how old she is. They all know she's at least seen Cain. She's a prophetess. Her prophecies have never been wrong. Yet historically, no one has ever paid any attention to her.
I'll have him say yes, lady. We do recognize you and your achievements.
Really?
We have heard of you.
I see. Hold out your hand.
I'll hold it out.
She puts a very brown, uncleaned egg in your hand.
I just
With
look
the-
at it.
If I were to tell you to do something with that, with what you know of me, would you do it?
I suppose it would depend on the action.
So you have a limit. There's something you wouldn't do.
We've been commanded not to use our powers at this gathering.
So if I said make it disappear, you wouldn't. Or if I said find a rat and feed it to it, you wouldn't?
I would search for a rat. That would not be violating our agreement before we came in the room.
I see. All right then. What if I told you that the action in which I might order you would ensure power. That you would have the purest of power. And that completing the action with that egg guaranteed it.
Would it violate our agreement before we entered the room?
What if I said it would?
Then I could not in good faith.
Okay, DM's question.
Yes.
Are you lying?
No.
Okay. She nods. And she says, okay. What if what I requested was repulsive?
From the reactions I gathered when I entered the room, that would not matter.
Okay. I want you to hold it in your mouth until I say spit it out.
Put it in his mouth.
Okay, you can spit it out.
He'll spit it out on the ground.
Did he put it in Paul's mouth or his own?
His own. His own. She said his mouth. So he took it and put it in Asmodeus put it in his mouth.
So it
Paul's
splats.
doing the talking.
Splats upon the ground, and white and yolk start to spread out, and there's a curious vein of black. She bends down and picks some of the shell away and says, I thought as much. You are like him over there. And she points to Oliver.
How so?
There will be a moment that will change your life as well as all those around you. And it is your decision that'll tip fate towards Gehenna or towards salvation. Don't fuck it up.
He'll nod.
You really should talk to the others. The prince had me make the guest list.
I'll take that under advisement.
I'm done with you now. You may leave.
I will nod and walk off. Towards the guy that looked like he wanted to fight.
Okay.
Can I hear any of what's being said there with the
Between the two of them,
Yeah.
Do you speak French?
Let's see.
I unfortunately cannot
I
pull up
do.
your character sheet at the moment.
I
Good.
do.
Okay. Yes, you can. He is very adamant that he has to speak to all of you, but you in particular.
Oh, okay.
And she's insisting that he cannot open his mouth because the curse of Malkov is too strong in him, and it is absolute stupidity that tends to come out of it.
Excellent. That's all right.
All right. Before we get to Doug and your conversation with this gentleman, is there anything the other two of you would like to do? As the crowd seems to jostle about, not really moving too much from where they're at. Occasionally, one person might float between one group and another. They all occasionally look in your directions.
Casper's just waiting for either someone to approach him or for refreshments to be served.
Gotcha. Okay.
Ready action, eat refreshment.
Okay.
Honestly, probably the only person that I would approach would be Dragomir.
He kind of walks back in your general direction after he gets done talking to the blonde man. Looks at you, goes, apparently we're not really supposed to say anything about ourselves to people around here. So, the less information you give about you, the better.
Got it.
Seems like a lot of court intrigue, and I'm not very good at that.
Me neither. I don't know why I'm here. Also, that lady over there touched my butt.
What was her name again?
Durga Sin. Durgasyn.
Got it.
Well, I mean, she was talking to our silent friend there a little while ago.
That's still really weird the way he just doesn't talk.
I mean, from a medical standpoint, I mean, it kind of makes sense. The telepathy part is something I'm still trying to get used to. I guess that's not uncommon for some of our kind, according to my sire, but it's not exceedingly common, I don't think. I don't know. It's yeah, it's still it's a bit unnerving at points.
I'm just gonna take your word for it.
Well, I mean, I've seen similar injuries before, I guess, but normally people don't survive those as well as he did. So either hardy constitution beforehand or after. Dragon kind of looks over towards the bald fat guy with the leaf on his shoulder.
Mhm.
And that guy's got a really, really powerful sense about him. You know? I don't know. Kind of want to go talk to him.
As
But
you
I'm also,
talk and look at him, he finally notices it and picks it off and flicks it away.
like he heard what I said or something. Or...
It seems to like he may have, but he's not. He's not even looking in your direction.
Okay.
Say something else. See if he hears that too.
But the air of like destiny that I got from him was not the leaf, right? It was just him.
Yeah, it's just him.
Okay. Otherwise, I was gonna go get the leaf. Oh.
Picks it up, puts it on your shoulder.
I need to call a bit of a break. The bathroom is calling me.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Break it is.
Okay. So two of you are waiting for refreshments. One wishes to talk to the long-haired blonde gentleman. Have I forgotten anything in like the 5 minutes we've been on break?
We were talking about the bald guy with the leaf.
Bald, right?
I'm intrigued by him. I tell him, Oliver, I'm intrigued by him. I just don't just get the sense he does not want to talk to any of us.
Do we stink? I proceed to smell myself.
Which
Which might be bad. I have acute senses.
well, you've not done any sweating
Oh,
for well over a decade.
but I might smell other things.
There's an ode to corpse.
Yeah, I have heightened senses and acute senses. So, I mean, I smell everything.
Or you smell all the animals you've been near, like horses. If you, every little bit of smoke that you've passed through today it's all over you.
I just went
A lot.
Wolverine.
a lot of the smell of death. You do not smell any of the hints of life to you.
Yeah, I don't think it's that we smell or anything necessarily like that. It's hard to explain. He just seems destined for greatness, I guess. I don't feel that way, so
Eh. I mean, who am I to judge? Maybe he's going to do something awesome.
Maybe. Let's see here.
I could go ask him if he's going to do something. I mean, you could go ask him if he's going to do something awesome.
feel
You
a little
could-
bit out of my depth here.
You can make a perception enigmas roll or empathy roll. Kevin, difficulty 7.
Oh,
If you wish to use your sense the cycle ability.
oh. Yeah.
You will need to.
Is that illegal? Yeah, that's great. I'm doing it anyway.
You don't think it's overt?
I might not be smart enough. Well, no, I'm not dumb. Okay. Sure, why not? What'd you say, enigmas or?
Perception enigmas or empathy? Difficulty 7.
Oh, they're both the same.
One thing while he's doing that role, like anything that I would recall about that man's appearance, since I have eidetic memory, that I've ever seen or heard discussed, I guess.
Woo! I got 2 successes.
Yeah.
We're just rolling 10s every time now.
Awesome. Not him specifically. He does have the general pallor that Clan Cappadocius has. So he's, compared to others, he's definitely looks more corpse-like. Not so much on like the becoming emaciated, more towards the bloated end of it.
Oh, so he's not really necessarily like a fat man, more like a decomposing, rotting appearance. More, I mean, he is a fat man, but yeah, okay. I've seen dead bodies, so I understand.
What does modifiers do?
It should add a free success, like for each plus you have.
Okay, so it says I have 1 there. So it would be 3 successes?
I will take your word on it.
Because it's not adding that in either, if that's how it works. 'Cause
It didn't?
It's only
Really?
telling me I have 1, which I rolled a 10, which would be 2. And then the
2.
modifier it said was 1.
But it's not in there
And
either.
it only tells me 1 success over here. That's why.
Okay, then yes, you have 3.
Oh, okay. I don't know if it matters between 3 and 2, but wasn't 100% sure what modifiers did.
Okay, I have a quick question before I get into description. Is your third eye covered?
Yeah. It's under the cloak, yeah.
Okay. All right. As Oliver looks over at this gentleman that you've been discussing, you notice a small glow come out from beneath his cloak, just ever so faint, like a firefly's.
Flash photography, bro.
As you watch everyone's wheel, their path opens up ever so slightly before you, and everyone here has a strength of predominance that you're not used to seeing. But from him alone, he seems to be a man who straddles a great moment of immense power, but also that of a downfall. And everyone else seems to be ever so slightly attached to him. Their own minute threads or wisps of connection, including yourself.
All right. Don't freak out when I tell you this. As I whisper it, not silently, because that would be weird. You wouldn't even hear it. Just be my mouth moving. Trying to channel as Asmodeus, moving my mouth with no words. But that guy is very important. It's like we're all tied to him.
Okay. It's interesting considering we just met him.
You know?
So
Sometimes it just
you
be
mean
like that.
You mean like everybody, as in the 5 of us or 7 of us, or like
Everybody.
If you would like more in depth of an answer, Kevin,
Yeah.
you have 3 questions you can ask me based off your roll.
Oh, also, I think I figured out what the thing did on here.
Okay.
I think it gave me an extra dice for a modifier.
Uh,
Because my perception is 2. And then I get 1 from the discipline, right? Because it's 1. I'm using the 1 dot of discipline, which would be 3 dice. And I somehow have an extra dice.
then yeah, it gave you an extra die for some reason.
Yeah. So, okay. Just so you know, that's what it's doing.
Okay.
Anyway.
I'll see if I can fix that later.
Well, I was just trying to,
Right.
Anyway, I have 3 questions I can ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Each success allows a player to ask the storyteller questions regarding the target.
Oh. This is like rubbing a genie's lamp and getting 3 wishes.
I mean, kind of. I can't kill anybody. I can't bring anybody back from the dead, and I can't make anyone fall in love with you. But I can answer questions.
Infinite money. Oh. um. Man, I don't know. It was like everyone that seemed tied to him, right? Like not just the five of us.
Yeah, everyone,
That's what I thought.
everyone there. Others have a stronger connection. Let's see. There are 2, 3, 4. There are 5 there have a stronger connection than anyone else, and the connections to you and the rest of the neonates are thin, barely a tie.
That's my answer to your question.
Faintly connected is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know, like, does the guy seem like troubled or bothered or I don't know how to explain, like nervous, or you know what I'm saying? Like, does he seem like right now,
Nervous?
or like troubled, or I know
No.
it's kind of two different questions, but like I'm just trying to figure out, like, I guess his demeanor or something,
He's the sense you get from his cycle is that he's views himself as above everybody here. That there is no one he would consider himself an equal. So his demeanor is that of a noble versus having to spend time with all his serfs.
Would I know like a time frame or anything on like what I'm getting from him, like the important like decision or whatever from him that I got? Is that something that I would?
From a vampire's perspective, it's Sue. From a mortal's perspective, it's far off.
I guess because like the differences in like the lifespan or whatnot, or
Yeah. You get the sense that the most important point of power for him is within the next century.
oh,
But the most important downfall is beyond that.
okay, that's technically 3 questions ish.
It is.
I mean, I definitely asked like for sure at least 3 questions.
There were a couple multi-part ones, but I went with it. As you're viewing this man, a servant comes out of the doorway, as followed by 12 women, all in silks, and they're not chained, but they are tied with the silks to each other, and they are led out like one would lead cattle or sheep. And into the killing pit. They're vacant expressions. They don't seem to be expressing any type of emotion. And as they're fully brought in, they're untied from each other, and they just kind of mill about directionless in the courtyard. There are 4 people who instantly grab one of them and pull them off to the side, guarding them very doggedly. One of which is the balding, rotund gentleman.
I believe Casper also had a ready action for refreshments.
Sure.
Eeny, meeny, miny, that one.
Okay. There is a roll. I need to look it up since I can't pull it up on the puper. Give me just a moment.
Yeah, so Oliver, you and Dragomir are staying there. He just kind of shifts uncomfortably, and I don't really like this part.
Yeah, I'm good right now.
It's been a while.
You need to make a willpower roll.
I do?
Mm-hmm.
Of course I do.
So does Casper.
Straight willpower.
Straight willpower. Yes, sir.
Is that on the dice rolls here?
I
Oh,
did
yeah.
not see
It's
one.
near the top
Is it
of the
perm
dice
willpower?
page.
Perm willpower?
Willpower.
Temporary willpower
Okay, I mean they're both the same right now.
at the moment. Yep.
What's the difficulty?
It's 6 at the moment.
Well, I think
It will
that
change in the
means-
future.
I think that means 0 because I rolled a 6 and I rolled a 1.
You
and
are
the other
correct.
one's 5. So
That is a 0. Then I also need you to make a self-control roll.
oh god. Okay. Actually that's 1 success. I don't know why it's saying all of them are successes. Like if they're, I think it might be just because it's saying, like it thinks it's a 3. But yeah, no. I had if it's a 6 still, I have 1 success.
1 success. Okay.
Yep.
The urge to feed is very strong.
Okay.
You are barely able to contain it.
All right.
Casper, what did you get for me?
4 successes.
4 successes. You're able to rein in the beast without any difficulty, and it doesn't take over as you begin to feed from your meal. All right. You can, rules wise, you can take up to 3 blood points per turn. You cannot take more than 6 from a human, otherwise you risk their death.
But I can take up to 6.
Up to 6.
Do I need
Okay.
to go by turn or just say how many I'm taking?
You can just tell me how many you're taking. It's not important turn wise right now.
I'm top off at 6.
Okie doke.
Waste not, want not.
Are
Are there any chairs?
No,
Nowhere to sit.
nowhere to sit.
All right, I'll lead my refreshment over and sit them down in a corner to recover.
Okay.
So, I mean, looking at these women that are brought out, the vacant look on their faces is just like because the urge is strong inside of him, and he hates, harming people that are or depriving him of their free will to do certain things. Is he seeing them as they don't really have that necessarily appearance about them? Or is that more of like an empathy role, or
A perception empathy would work.
perception?
It's difficulty 4.
Okay. They're all successes. That's 9.
9. Nice.
That means
Ah.
no.
They are under someone's mental dominance. Their entire personhood is being suppressed to make the feeding easier.
Okay. Dragomir's like standing next to you, Oliver, as they bring him in, and you can see like his tongue just kind of rolls over his lips for a second. He's like, "Been a while. That urge is hard. I feel like if I don't do something tonight, I might do something later that I'm going to regret even more."
You want me to grab one?
I mean,
It's very hard to resist.
yeah. I think I have to. I guess whatever one looks the healthiest, most likely to recover.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I'll make sure of it.
All right.
Okay. Well, since you're going to go grab one and you're checking to make sure they're healthy and can recover, give me a wits medicine.
Should have totally been me.
Well, I was gonna say I'm just gonna pretend like I'm looking them over because I don't know what I'm looking for.
Oh, okay.
I'll just look over like 2 or 3 of them, and I'm like, "Yeah, this one. This is a good one."
All right.
Do me a favor and roll 2d10 and tell me if it's above 75.
For me? Or for him?
Kevin, since he's the one grabbing.
Okay.
Isn't there a thing where? Oh yeah, there's like a dice thing up here, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
It'll tell you what they are for the game wise.
Say,
But-
do you want the D100? Is that what you're asking him for?
Ooh, yes.
Oh,
It's still 2d10. It's the same thing.
I mean, should I just go with the way they laid out here? There's a 9 and a 4 is what it tells me.
Okay,
94.
works for me. Dagomir.
Yeah.
Wits medicine.
Okay. That's actually pretty good for me. Oh my god.
Wow.
I rolled 4 10s.
What the?
Is 6 my benchmark?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, so that's 10 successes.
Seems pretty good.
yeah, it's not bad,
Very
I
nice.
guess.
Yeah, he did all right. The girl he grabbed has the potential to survive if you can control yourself while feeding.
Okay. Um, given that I have efficient digestion, he'll probably stop at like 4, taken in. So I think it'd be a total of 6 based on, because it's like every 2 blood points I get an extra one.
Yeah.
So, I'll just try to take 4, so it gives me 6 additional ones in total.
Please make me another willpower roll.
Yeah.
Difficulty is 8.
Okay. That is no successes.
No success.
7 was my high. So
Okay. Oliver. Dagomir starts to feed. It seems normal. He seems able to restrain himself. Then he starts to do just a bit more than the usual bite. He might, if he were to chew or bite down just a little bit harder, he would kill this woman in a single go, just ripping her jugular out.
I'd like to try to stop him.
Okay.
Well,
How would you like to do that?
I think it would probably start out like trying to convince him, like, man, you gotta stop, quit, you're gonna kill her. And then if that didn't work, it would probably turn physical.
Okay.
So
Then give me a manipulation.
damn it. I mean, yeah, I'm good at these.
You are a manipulation expression,
Manipulation.
unless you're being forceful, then intimidation.
It would probably be more in a begging manner.
Okay, then it's
Pleading.
expression.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you roll like a 3,
Yep.
Did you have a 0 dice pool?
I have one.
Oh, there it is. I see it.
I have one.
no,
Do I notice
stop.
this exchange happening?
Yes, everyone has turned to watch.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna help.
Okay.
Intimidation
Help
wouldn't even
kill her.
have made
No.
it better.
You're gonna kill her. Yeah.
I would also at that point head over that way because I don't want to get in trouble.
Okay. I don't want to say it, but how do you want to do this?
This it would now turn to the, for me anyway, the trying to like forcefully pull him off.
Okay.
I'll put my hand on the back of his neck and like grab him like you would like a pup.
Okay.
I would be more of a expression person also. The manipulation expression role would probably fit me more.
So you're gonna try to talk him out of it while they
Yeah.
manhandle him.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's a manipulation expression. Difficulty 7. For the two of you who are trying to grab him and pull him off, it's a combat roll. So it'll be a dexterity brawl.
Oh, Something I can do.
Yeah, something I can do, I think.
Is there any count? Like, is there a opposing roll from me for anything, or
There is. It would be dexterity athletics if you're trying to pull away from them.
well,
I
if
have
I'm
7
feeding and I can't.
successes.
I have 4.
4. What did you say, Doug?
I have 7 successes.
7.
I
Yeah.
have 1. I'm assuming it's a 6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have 1.
So I mean, I'm assuming that I'm in the midst of feeding frenzy, and I'm going to resist because I've failed my ability. So you said dexterity.
Athletics. There should actually be a dodge button in combat.
Oh, okay. So is that all I'm doing? Just dodge?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, there it is. I mean, I have 2 successes, so
How many did you have, Kevin?
1.
1. Okay.
and Casper had what?
Casper
4.
had 4.
4.
You're able to get a hold of him. Your like rabid cat, leave me alone. This is my jerk away from Oliver has managed to have you slide from his hands, but Casper has a hold of you in a way that pinch is enough to give her some needed respite from your feedings. Asmodeus, he stopped. I'm not sure you can claim it was your efforts, even though they were well put. Whether or not you know they made it through, when someone is in the throes of the beast, it's hard to tell. But the combined effort, he did stop.
I'll speak to him directly and not through Paul. Say, calm yourself.
I guess since I didn't necessarily get to grab him, I'd like try to get the girl away.
Okay. Give me a straight strength roll. The difficulty's not hard. It's a 4. Dagomir,
Yes.
you have a 10 blood.
How much you said? Or
10?
10? Okay.
Yep. You fed from 10.
Is that including his efficient feeding?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So I gained 10
Yes.
total?
Depending on
was
what
that
is your
2?
generation.
9.
9.
So I think I
Okay.
can have up to 15.
Up to
Is that right?
15.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I gained 10 on top of what I
14.
14. Okay.
Yep. Sorry.
14. 9. Okay. Okay. So I'm at 12 blood points. All right. Great. Am I still in the midst of my feeding frenzy fog, or is it clearing, or
The urge to feed has passed, but the pull of the beast remains ever so slightly more than normal.
okay?
What did you have, Oliver?
2 successes to get
2
her.
successes? You don't have any problem picking her up and moving. She doesn't seem lively.
I'm like, help! She fell down the stairs.
Okay.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm guessing you're still holding Dragomir by the back of the neck at this point?
Right. Casper just has him just a little off the ground, trying to decide if he's good to put him down.
I would say, I mean, if you're looking at him, he still appears like eyes kind of wide. The glow that's there is a little bit more intense. Very different from what you're used to seeing.
Give me a wit's empathy to make that judgment.
Gotcha.
I'm like, is there a doctor here? Oh.
Wits empathy. -1 successes.
-1. Yeah. It's probably not safe to put him down.
Casper just looks at him and goes, "Don't be rude."
The ecstasy, the feeling, I can smell it. I can taste it still. It calls.
Casper goes, "You're making a bad second impression."
Asmodeus, give me a perception alertness.
It is 3 successes.
3 successes. As you're managing to get occasional glances around you as this plays out, no one seems overly put off by it. There are 1 or 2 who seem very much drawn to it specifically, though. They are more than just, oh, look at that. It's definitely enraptured by the event. One is the warty older man, and the other is the overweight balding man. Of which he specifically begins to approach the 4 of you.
Since someone's approaching, Casper just sets him back down and is acting like nothing happened. Like just with his arm around him, like they're buddies, just hanging out.
Right, okay. That
She fell down the stairs.
He said it was a pineapple. Oh, hello.
That was exquisite. There are few here so willing to indulge our true selves. My name's Claudius. Your name is Dragomir?
Dragomir, yes. He's just kind of licking his lips from where any of the remnants of the blood might still be.
I see great potential in you. If you ever find yourself in Venice, look me up. You'll find me most likely in the banking district, but if you cannot, simply ask for the Giovanni estate.
What language was he speaking?
He is speaking Latin. Is the
Okay.
easiest thing to assume most people know.
Okay. He just mentioned Venice, so I thought he might be speaking something else.
Giovanni. Venice. Banking district.
Good.
Got it.
Good. You should follow his lead. He'll take you to a great many places. And he just walks away.
I feel like that guy should be sitting in a chair and spin around with a cat in his lap.
You have control of yourself.
So, would it be weird to use my ability thing again to see if, like, I know it's just recent, but like if the ties to us with that guy have maybe like become stronger?
Sure. Yeah, go for it.
I mean, I don't know if it would be that quick for something like that to happen, but
Spend your willpower and make the roll.
two successes.
2 successes.
I'm just gonna leave it with 4 dice rolled right now.
Not to you in particular, but to your companion. The tie is stronger. I wouldn't say it's a lot stronger, but it is stronger.
Okay.
You have 2 questions if you wish.
No, I'm good. I think.
Okay.
I don't know what to ask, but I was just kind of looking to see if it, if that made that big of a difference in the whole.
It seems to have.
Gotcha.
It's gone from, like, say, a thin wisp of smoke to a slightly darker wisp. I mean, it's the connection has grown, but not a lot. It has also seemed to have grown between the warty older man that's out there and a redheaded woman that hasn't seemed to, up until this point, shown any interest in anything.
Gotcha.
Dragomir,
Yeah.
are you in control?
No. It's like feel sated, but it doesn't. What happened to her?
She's alive. Barely.
You wish to check at a glance, or are you just going with it?
I don't think his conscience would let him just go with it, so he would definitely take a glance.
Give me a perception medicine then.
This is gonna be really great. Oh, jeez. Sixes, success, or
Mm-hmm.
okay, so that's 6 successes.
Success. She's definitely dead. From what you can see, from your bite, from what they call the kiss, it less so much that of a usual feeding, looks more like a mauling.
Um, he'll just kind of go in your limp, Casper. He's kind of, you have your arm around him. He just kind of,
Yeah.
his shoulders just kind of sag, and I'm. I think I'm gonna just stand over there.
Are there any people in the direction he pointed?
There's one, a
Or sorry, any kind?
no,
Okay.
no.
Then,
There's
then,
there's
then I'll
no.
walk him over there.
Okay.
I will, at that point, I will find one of the women
Okay. It's
and
not
feed.
difficult.
I'm gonna keep my eye on the rest of the group just to see if I need to jump in again.
It's not difficult to find someone to feed from. It might prove difficult to find someone who hasn't already been fed from.
So at my generation, what's my max?
What is your generation?
8th.
How many do you have?
Is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I've got the page if you need it.
I got 8.
Yes, please, page
341.
341.
I just wanted to change it on my sheet so that way I knew too.
It's a max of 15, I think.
15? Yep.
15. Okay. I will just take 2 points to give me the 3.
Okay. Are you looking for someone who hasn't been fed from, or do you not care?
As long as they don't look too bad, like they haven't been overfed on.
Okay. Give me a wits medicine. Yeah, we'll stick with difficulty 6 for now.
Two successes.
2 successes. There's a girl you find that hasn't been pushed to the limit. She's being fed on by the dark-haired woman that accompanied the strong-jawed man that Dragomir spoke to earlier.
I will walk up I will walk up and nod and have Paul ask it, Asmodeus would, may he partake with you.
Give me a manipulation expression on from Asmodeus, since Paul is basically just a mouthpiece.
Yeah. Difficulty.
7.
I have 2 successes.
The gentleman doesn't seem to give you any notice whatsoever. It's a quick glance, and then he goes back to watching everyone else. He doesn't seem to want to feed himself. The lady he's with gives you a bit of a sneer before she kind of pushes the girl off onto you.
I will take my couple points.
The Casper, you notice that the long-haired gentleman with his female companion have vanished. They've disappeared from the crowd.
The one that looked like he was like being held back?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Maybe that's something. So it looks like some of the group is leaving already, Dragomir. Remember the long haired man with his companion? Seemed to have gone.
Are we permitted to leave?
I don't believe we are. I just find it interesting, don't you think?
Indeed, it is. He'll kind of look around, I guess.
Uh,
More
there
just looking
are
to distract himself, kind of. But yeah, taking a glance to see who's around still.
your sire appears to have gone. The long blonde-haired gentleman and his companion are gone. And the there was a woman that briefly caught your eye in uh, traditional Middle Eastern garb. She seems to be gone as well.
Okay. Yeah, it does seem Proud has thinned us some. Peculiar. He'll look around for the prince, I guess.
He's standing beside his throne. The seneschal is next to him, and he's keeping an eye on you. It's not so much as in they're causing trouble, but that what's that guy going to do next type of look.
Yeah. Perhaps I should have taken your stance and not brought so much attention upon myself. Definitely not my intent tonight.
It is possible that that was the wiser approach in the long run. We shall find out soon enough. Or
Yes.
maybe none of it matters at all.
Well, it matters to me, but
Oh,
I'm
apologies. I meant in the they may murder us or let us leave sense.
oh, um, yeah. I don't think, fortunately, behaving the way I did might have benefited us. It seems.
Well, you impressed someone.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
That's true. You do not seem the kind of person I would tend to associate with, but to each his own.
Um,
Our host does not also seem to care about things that other of our kin do. No telling what he's thinking.
well,
Unless you can read his mind. Like gives you like the joke nudge. But like that kind of look like he doesn't know if you can.
sure. Well, maybe not his mind, but it did tell us outright uses of our gifts are
Hmm.
frowned upon.
Where are Asmodeus or is it Asmodeus or Asmodeus?
Asmodeus.
All right. Where are Asmodeus and Oliver at this point?
Well, that's a good question. Have you left the area of confrontation, or are you still near there?
Talking to Oliver, or
Yes. And
Well, I carried the girl away, so that was like the last thing I did.
okay,
And I went to
So-
find the other girl to feed on her.
Right.
But now I'd be looking for the warty guy.
the what?
The guy with the warts.
Okay. Uh Smodius is near the prince. And at the moment you can't see Oliver.
Has Oliver left as well while we were not looking?
Dragomir will take a look around.
A perception investigation.
Four successes.
4 successes. Based off of what you last saw, you don't think he's taken off. It looks like he's removed evidence.
Believe he was taking the young lady away from
Mm.
the area.
I shall pray for her later.
Yes, she did not deserve that. Kind of just he his head turns in your direction, but his eyes are still kind of firmly towards the ground. Thank you for attempting to help her.
It was the right thing to do.
Indeed. I feel maybe I should go apologize to our host for my impolite behavior.
I look over at the prince. Does he look like that might be a good idea? Like,
Give
does
me
he seem overly concerned?
give me a wits empathy
I can do that.
as you're reading his uh
One success.
one success. He doesn't seem to be as he saunters over to Asmodeus.
He doesn't seem to be at all.
Not even remotely concerned.
Okay. Perhaps later. It looks like he's got other things on his mind right now.
Dragomir will kind of look towards the seneschal that brought us in. See maybe if he's paying more attention, because obviously the prince is kind of flighty with his.
He does seem to be keeping an eye on you, but he's not watching you solely. He's definitely watching all of you.
Okay. Does he seem at all like weird? I guess not weary of me, but as if I've made a faux pas to a certain extent.
Give me a wits empathy.
Okay.
I cannot roll against you, so I will make the difficulty 7.
Okay. Well, that's 0 successes, because both of my successes were canceled out by ones.
Oh.
So I have 0.
Okay. That is what we like to call a botch.
Yeah.
He looks like he's exceedingly bothered. You've taken, from what you can tell, a serious misstep as far as he's concerned.
Okay. So, I'll kind of nod towards the seneschal with Casper there. Say, perhaps he seemed a bit more level-headed about everything going on here, and an apology might be more forthcoming towards him.
What do I think about what he's thinking?
Same roll.
Does the seneschal look perturbed? You know what? I'm a re-roll that. One success.
One success?
I've got one re-roll left.
Oh. Yep. No. He doesn't look perturbed per se. He does look like that if you were keeping score, it would be a bit of a penalty, but not something to worry about. Like a minor faux pas at most.
Couldn't hurt. He looks a bit perturbed. Maybe an apology would smooth things over with him.
Very well. I will go try to make well on my mistakes. If you wish to accompany me, it would be welcome.
I shall then.
Asmodeus. The prince just kind of walks up, stands there for a bit. Looks like he's trying to think of something. Behemoth. Get your the people you came in with. Could you do me that favor?
And I'll speak directly to him and nod as I say, "Yes, Your Honor."
Cool. Uh thank you.
And I'll go and find everybody.
He follows.
Who do I see first?
Dagomir and Casper are roughly walking in your direction.
Okay, so I'll look for Oliver and Tiffany.
You don't have any problems finding Tiffany right away. Oliver seems to be just coming around the side of the building, though.
I'll go towards Oliver first,
Okie doke.
since he's the farthest, like herding cats.
Gotcha. Well, the three of you, Asmodeus, Casper, and Dagomir, pass each other like ships in the night as one goes towards the throne and the other heads towards the building with the prince.
Looks like you made a friend.
Dragomir's not even really paying attention. Doesn't even like recognize or like really no recognition there that they just passed. He says, "Huh? Oh." Kind of looks behind. Oh. Ah, I see.
I'll speak directly to Casper. The prince wants us all.
As we're
Ye-
passing.
Yes, you'll hear that in your head. No verbal words.
I said you can do it with your companion. You don't have telepathy just yet.
Okay. So Paul will say that to you then.
Rewind. Okay.
Yes. The prince asks for the group. We're going to get the Oliver.
The Oliver.
The Oliver.
He's the only one here. Maybe.
The only Oliver that will ever be in the game now.
Where are you heading?
Are you stopping to talk to us or just still
Yeah, I'll
kind of
stop
like
for a second. Yeah.
we'll be right with you.
Uh.
Like I kind of like as we were walking, I like turn and kind of direct Dragomir to follow.
Okay. Say, the seneschal or oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay. Later then.
I mean, if it's important, I can wait.
No, Your Honor. I'm more than obliged to accompany you.
Okay, well, I'm following this guy to go find Tholiver.
Go find Tholiver.
I look at Asmodeus.
Dragomir's just sitting here wondering, like looking at the prince and just like wondering if he is like Malkavian in some way. Just with the way he's acting, he's like, this is really strange.
Uh, there is a connection. You feel it innately.
Okay. Just kind of on guard with.
As he notices you looking at him, he gives you a wink.
He just winks back.
Your little timing's off there. One went down before the other. Anyway, where's this Oliver?
Asmodeus, do you have any idea?
I saw him, right? Didn't I? I saw him earlier. Dragomir just kind of points, is over there, coming around the building right now.
I'll just pat Casper on the shoulder and point.
I'll look at Oliver and be like, wave him over.
The prince waves.
Walks over. Oh, hello, your Cernus. Or something. What was it again?
His honor.
I mean,
Hello, his honor.
I like it. So we've got Oliver. Don't we need his sister? And then I can say my piece.
I just let out a whistle.
Did you bring a pet?
No, I was calling her. I mean, maybe?
Okay. She looks in your direction, gives you a really dirty look, and then bows to the group she's talking to and starts heading in your direction very slowly. Takes her a few brief moments to get to you and says, Your Honor, what do you want, Oliver?
But he wanted all of us.
That would be true. I wanted all of you. Well, it seems my guests are starting to clear out. Seems a bit early. I don't blame them. I don't blame you either, in case you're wondering. No one judges the Nosferatu in my court. You don't have to worry about it. So don't let that get to you that they're leaving, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Most princes make requests of neonates before they let them out of their court. My court's going to be moving tomorrow, so I don't have a whole lot I can ask that I can guarantee you being able to get back to me with. So I'm going to send my seneschal to Jerusalem. Something big's coming. Maybe another crusade. It feels right for the humans. I want you to go there. I want you to spend a year there. Tell my seneschal everything you deem important that you've experienced, and then he'll get back to me.
I give like a good head nod.
as you command, His Honor.
Okay.
You guys are making this really easy on me. Thanks. I mean, when your sires came to me and said they wanted to introduce you in my court, I was confused, but I accepted. So yeah, a report 1 year hence, Jerusalem.
Do you know where we might find you in 1 year's time?
Not at all.
But your seneschal shall be in Jerusalem, correct?
Yep, that is where I'm going to send him. Hopefully, he doesn't make me look bad with the prince there. The
Good.
Ventru can be a bit touchy.
Is there anything we can bring as a gift or otherwise to instill us in their good graces?
I've no clue. I know he's Roman. I mean that if that helps.
I'm sure it will.
Would Asmodeus know common practices when you enter a new prince's realm?
Most of you should. It would have at least at some point gone over very briefly with your sires. The Gangrel and Malkavian don't put a whole lot of emphasis on courtly goings and practices, but you do know that you are supposed to at least introduce yourself to the prince when you enter into their territory, and request feeding rights while you spend time in their city, because they do tend to restrict it.
Will the seneschal be going with us to introduce ourselves to this prince,
I mean,
Your Honor?
do you want to travel with him?
Might make it simpler so we know where we can find him to report.
Okay, I'll make him. You'll have a very boring traveling companion. Or a very fun traveling companion.
Orin can be good, Your Honor.
I believe you're wrong. So you're wrong.
I believe my companion might prefer something predictable. But
Well,
I
he's
understand your point.
that's good. All right. Well, you take care. Right? Don't get yourself staked. Don't play in the sun. Yep, that's what I got for you. Well, you fellas take care. Good travels. I'll have my seneschal take care of everything for you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
pack light. Be prepared for cramped quarters. Goodbye. And he turns around and just kind of bobs his way back to his makeshift throne. Looks at it, gives it like a brief dust with his hand, and walks on.
So I guess we should get with the Shinner show.
Yes, I do believe so.
To at least find traveling plans.
Tiffany asks if you want me to take care of that. That's usually what I do.
That's true.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Continue.
If you need any assistance, I'm more than happy to help. But if you're comfortable with it, I'm fine.
It's the thing I do. All right. I'm going to call it there, fellas.
Yes.
It's almost midnight. It seems to be a good point to stop. Next time we get together in 2 weeks hence, it'll be Jerusalem.
It's free travel.
Travel on the Prince. All expenses trip paid.
Hopefully, Tiffany gets us a good Airbnb.
Ah, some of the places she makes us stay, I tell ya.
Alrighty. Well, I hope you had fun joining us. And I hope you join us again. Have a good night. Don't play in the
Bye.
dark. Bye.
Yeah.